Hey guys, here in Flo's Metal World, and I've got today a brand new video, my top 10 albums from 2017, but I couldn't fix on just 10 albums, so I will present you in the last minutes of the video more albums.
Flo's Metal World, the ultimate metal blog.
Number 10 is a live album. I always like live records more than the studio albums, normally, and again this was the case. Dimmu Borgir, Forces of the Northern Night. Wow, this is just an epic concert, an epic show, an epic setlist. When I always listen to this album I can feel the energy from the show. Number 9. This one is an acoustic album, maybe you know this one. It's from Elevate, Pantheon, Evocation 2. When I first heard of this album I thought, okay, another Evocation. But it wasn't like this. I think Evocation 2 is better than Evocation 1. Number 8. After an interview with this band a few weeks ago, you know it, Crown of Hysteria with their album Rautscanner. This one is one of the best black metal albums I've ever heard. You know, there are a lot of orchestrations in the album, but not too much. You can really feel the atmosphere on the song Master. I always think there's kind of war, because there are these horns and everything just seems like it's war. But in another song there's kind of feeling of a forest and of nature, and this is one of my top albums from 2017. Number 7. Obscurity with Streitmacht. You know my opinion about this album. I've done a review a few months ago, and this album is really one of the best pagan and Viking metal albums I've heard. Because after the album Winter, which was released 2013 or 14, this one is even better. And normally, if you have a new record from a band, it normally isn't better than the album you've heard before. But this one is better. So check out Obscurity with Streitmacht. And the music video, which they released a few days ago to the song Endside, was so bombastic. When I watched it I felt like in a cinema, because this is just a movie. This is no video, no music video anymore. This is a film. Number 6. Thrash metal, death metal, Darkfall from Austria with their album At the End of Times. I've reviewed this album a few months ago, and then I saw them live on Metal Night Outbreak, and I bought me one Darkfall shirt and the CD with 2 autograms inside. I was really happy. This is also the reason why this one is number 6 of my list, because this is absolutely one of the best albums of 2017. There are fantastic songs like Right Through the Sky, The Breed of Death, The Way of Victory, Death Cult Debauchery, Your God is Dead, and the remastered version of Land of No Return. And the other songs are also amazing, but not that good as the ones I've told you right now. Number 5. Maybe you know Santa Croix. They had a long-awaited album of Earth and Oxen, and they split it in 2 parts, of Earth and Oxen 1 and of Earth and Oxen 2. And I choose of Earth and Oxen 2 because this one is more brutal, and yes, this album is better. I think it's better than the album before, but the of Earth and Oxen 1 is softer. Number 4. A complication of hard rock ballads. It's Exeter Repel with the Ballads 4. You know, I've always listened to Exeter Repel. This was one of the first bands I discovered, and so I was really happy that they brought out the new Ballads album, because the ballads from Exeter Repel are the best ballads on earth. And I'm really looking forward to their new record, which will be released in the upcoming year. And I've also done a review for this album before, and check it out that you know my full opinion about this album, because I can't tell everything to every album in this video, because this video would be too long. But there are some great tracks like the Ed Sheeran cover Icy Fire, or Hey Hey My Mind, Went With Hurts, Forever Free, Mistreated, the live version. which is no ballad. I think they needed some tracks to have 10 tracks on the album. But check out the ballads. 4. Number 3 for all thrash metal bands, Creator, Gods of Violence. When I first heard Creator, it wasn't really in a metal show, or it wasn't a CD, it wasn't a magazine. When I first heard Creator's music, it was on Circus Halligalli, which is a comedy show in a German TV, and I thought cool, metal, and then I saw Creator and I thought I know Creator, but I only know the name. Now it's time to listen to a song. Then I've heard Satan is Real in their show. I became a fan of Creator. Let me move on with number 2. Arch Enemy with Will to Power. When I saw them a few months ago, I think in April or in September in Linz, I've done a live recap to this show, link in the description. I was really amazed. There are great songs like The Race, Blood in the Water, The Eagle Flies Alone, First Day in Hell, My Shadow and I. Fuck, these are amazing songs, but it's, I think, not that good like War Eternal, because it isn't that brutal, and it is in the whole concept a little bit softer. Let's move on with number 1. You may know it because you haven't heard something of this band in the whole video. Maybe you think that this band is in the end of the video because this album isn't that good to be one of the top 10 albums, but no. On the number 1 I have Winter Sun with The Forest Seasons. And many of you will hate me now because you say, bad production, Winter Sun crowdfunding. Winter Sun with The Forest Seasons is one of the best albums which I've ever heard. I don't care about the crowdfunding project. There are so many other people which use crowdfunding and nobody cares. And if a metal band does it, everybody says, crowdfunding, they want to buy the studio and want to release albums faster and want to invest in the band. I don't see the point. Winter Sun with The Forest Seasons. There are 4 different tracks: spring, summer, autumn and winter. It is so a brilliant album because there are parts of the black metal, epic metal, symphonic metal. I really can't wait to see Winter Sun live with Arch Enemy next week. No, in 3 weeks. Oh fuck. I thought there's only 1 week to go. Winter Sun, The Forest Seasons is the best album from 2017. But let's move on with a lot of more albums which came out 2017 and which are also good, and you don't have to forget it. Nearly in a top 10 list, I've got a band from Austria, Regnum Noricum, with their debut album Noriki Erbo. And this album is also amazing. There are a lot of black metal parts, death metal parts, and this is about the Romans, so this is Roman metal. I don't know if the genre already exists. I've got an EP from Epica, which is an EP, so I couldn't put it in the album ranking. Epica with the Solar System. There are a lot of great songs as well. But let's move on with more albums. We've got another live album from Iron Maiden, Book of Souls live chapter. This one is also amazing. Accept the Rise of Chaos, Trivium, The Sin and the Sentence, the new Iced Earth record, Mastodon, Emperor of Sand, Black Sabbath, The End, Cradle of Filth, Cryptoriana, Enslaved, E, The Unguided, and the Battle Royale. When I saw them at Metal Night Outbreak, this show was absolutely amazing. And last but not least, one of the albums which came out in January, Aversion's Crown from Australia with Xenocide. This is a core album. Check out all these albums, check out my channel, subscribe to my YouTube channel for metal news and metal reviews and I don't know, metal, you know. So thanks for watching this video until the end, and if it's day, have a nice day, and if it's night, sleep well and stay heavy.